Here we go. There you are.
All
there
right.
you are, living in my ears.
Beautiful.
He's here.
All right. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the 120th Corridor Digital Podcast.
Wow.
120?
I think. 121st, I think.
137.
Does it matter anymore?
4.
What matters is that we're all here, and this is the Christmas special, and Sam and I wanted to start this off by challenging one another to a Christmas carol
Oh, here we
on
go.
guitar. So, Sam, do you want to start, or do you want me to start with these ferocious
I've been
licks?
practicing. We got people to entertain we got to tame people these holidays.
Enter the tame tricks.
Oops.
This is a
play the
classic
chords.
spin on a classic. Green sleeves.
Classic.
Did we say classic yet? Because it's a classic.
Jake said classic. Did you not
That's
hear
all
him?
I'm playing.
Or
It's
is that
Jake.
the
He's
joke?
Fred.
Just make
Are you
I don't
ready?
know.
You ready to hear mine? Here, hold
got
on.
me.
You're about to witness it. Okay,
Witness
ready?
The tainment. Hi.
This is Blue
I'm Tane.
Sleeves
I'm
by
here to
Jake.
entertain you. Oh shit.
It's like Christmas at Knott's Berry Farm.
Isn't this like the
I
Batman
know
theme
this
song?
song.
It's like the DC Extended Universe.
Jake has a gift.
Something about
That was beautiful. Wow.
odorous.
Thanks, guys.
That's beautiful.
I've been working on
Cave
that for the
dwellers.
last 5 minutes. And I gotta say,
You know,
turned out
Batman
out
smells.
great.
Sam's still bringing the heat, though.
Sam's
If this is a
bringing that
contest, I'm
heat.
just saying. I mean, he's sleeping in heavenly peace over here. You know?
Hell yeah, dude.
There you go.
Beautiful.
That was
Wow.
Beautiful.
I'm in
Beautiful.
the spirit. I'm in the spirit of Christmas.
All right, so
It's our last week here at
That
Corridor.
got me there.
Yeah,
Forever.
this is it, guys. This is the last week. After this, we shut down the studio forever. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and it was nice knowing y'all.
And there's no chance to rehire Peter.
Ever.
Yeah.
No, it's over.
Peter's gone. He's out of the
We're
picture.
actually we're shutting down the studio so that we're never put in a position where we have to rehire him and then
We were all
fire
threatened
him.
by him, really. It wasn't, good for
Yeah.
our image.
Yeah,
so
and
we just,
especially a
Right.
studio that has zero history of ever making any jokes about Peter.
No, yeah.
Ever.
Everything is 100% serious.
I want to just
Yeah.
quickly point out that we were nominated for a Streamies Award for Best Visual Effects.
And guess what?
We didn't win.
Oh no.
That went to Zachary Kingonitis.
Oh, beautiful.
King
I feel like at
Saccharonius
this point,
King-
though, I feel like
King
at
word.
this point, all they do is pick the same like batch of channels every year, and then just like pick one of them.
I don't know. I was kind of hoping we'd win, but at the same time, we've won enough.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I can't.
Winning gets old after
Throw
a
it
while,
on the
right?
Yeah,
pile.
it's hard being at the. No.
We've done a lot this year, man. I feel
We
like it
did
would
do
have
a
been
lot.
well deserved.
But we've also kind of deviated a little bit away from the sort of VFX short films that we used to do. It's a lot more. you
yeah.
know,
Are you kidding me though? Like, dude, so many freaking renders this year.
Yeah,
still.
that's what I'm
do
saying.
not
Like
disagree.
the,
Do
we've
not disagree.
satisfied-
level,
Literally satisfied millions.
And
Hundreds of
unsatisfied millions more.
Yes. We've satisfied millions. We've recreated shots. We've done it all.
I was actually going to mention that because it's like, almost ironically, we're the best at visual effects we've ever been.
Yeah.
But we got all of our awards back.
it doesn't
when we
come
weren't
down
as good as
to
now.
it doesn't come down to committee though. It comes down to popular vote.
Yeah, and of course
Gotcha.
Zach King being at the top
So.
of the popularity tree.
Right.
He's a shining bright star. Anyway, I brought that up because I've got a glass of ice here, and why is it just ice? Well, that's because the Streamies actually sent us a bunch of these little cocktail thingies.
What? When did they do that?
Hell yeah, brother.
Would they do that?
Yeah, and I guess this, when they do that.
What'd they do that for?
Yeah. So this was I wanted to drink it, and I wanted
What
to have
is
some
this?
context for why I'm drinking
What
it
is
now.
that? What's in there?
This is a dehydrated passion fruit.
Oh, my
and
favorite.
A
You basically
Negroni,
mix
which
together
is
Here, let me hold
cocktails.
this for you.
passion fruit, mezcal, and Negroni.
Right.
Passion to
Brownie?
create
Is
is the name
Is
of
that
the drink.
passion fruit hydrator in the other pouch?
Maybe.
You didn't win a streamy, but you won a grony.
I want a grony.
He's
you want a
cracking
grony
it.
kid.
I'm cracking. And to clarify for you audio listeners, I'm literally holding a pouch, like one of those plastic pouches with
it's like
a
a
wine pouch.
nozzle on the side of it.
It's his fancy cocktail ration in our dystopian future.
What's in there?
Wait,
is this
the
an
old matter
adult
compiler
beverage?
put that together
Negroni
for
and
you.
mezcal, dude. It's like
I think you're supposed to add tequila to that.
No, mezcal is
it's I smell it.
a Negroni.
It's got tequila in it.
So Negroni is made
an
with
adult juice box.
Normally it's made with gin and sweet vermouth, and then like there's maybe one or two more things in there. But
You're right.
They're like, we're gonna make it fancy and put mezcal in there, I guess.
Hydrate.
Yeah, you're gonna
But
hydrate.
I thought, well, mezcal isn't tequila, but they're derived from the same plant.
Might as well be. Wait, what the heck?
As far as I
Mezcal
Look at
is
this.
the scotch
close.
of tequila.
Space food.
Wait, that looks like a freaking fruit roll.
Okay,
It's a fruit
I don't
roll-up.
know. I don't know
It
enough
is.
about it.
You're supposed to put it in. Are you sure? Is it
How
like
is
a
it-
finger
how is
food
it,
to
Ren? Will
enjoy?
you try it? Will you try this holiday drink for us all?
Merry Christmas, Ren.
Merry Christmas.
Are you
I'm gonna
spreading this
drink
year?
Sam,
by
you should-
myself with all of you.
I was gonna say, you should
You're
rate
not
this
invited
Negroni.
at all.
You should
Cheers,
rate it.
buddy.
Okay,
Since you're a
hey, yo,
master.
cheers, Jake.
I should drink it.
Well, 'cause-
Should I drink it for Ren and tell him what it's like?
yeah, tell them what it's like.
I want it to grow in the liquid. That's what I was hoping for.
I know, it
I've
like
got
puffs
this-
up like
It just puffs up,
dinosaurs
absorbs all the liquid.
Is that
Just
that
have like
full
a-
strength?
into a full passion.
I mean,
fruit.
it's
Normal
strength.
passion fruit.
I don't know if it's full
Because
strength.
that could be a double cocktail in that.
Oh boy.
I mean, judging by the size of your cup,
That's a
kind of looks like two cocktails just got
We'll
poured
see
in
how
there.
Ren's doing at the end of this
Yeah.
podcast.
Wait.
Yeah,
Hold up.
we'll track your progress.
It doesn't
Yeah.
say serving sizes or anything.
It doesn't. It literally just says passion to create.
It just says
Streamers
enjoy.
Award.
So you're drinking like a couple ounces of hard liquor
Oh boy.
with sugar.
It's going to be a great podcast.
It'll be a great one.
Bring
You're
it
not
in the
going to have a
holidays,
headache. You will not have a headache,
as
I
is
swear.
tradition.
No, you'll
boy.
be great. You'll be doing great. We're all cheering.
Just wait till I
cheering
get
you
into running mode.
on. running.
Running,
Nick knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Vegas.
we don't want to see you on running mode on the podcast.
No, that's fine. I'll just
I
elevate my
personally
legs.
do, but we
Yeah.
may get into running mode on Wednesday night. We're having our annual Christmas party,
On a
and
rooftop.
Yep.
we're going serious this year. I don't know how this
Serious.
went from getting together to eat boiled shrimp to partying on a rooftop, but
Wait,
here
are we
we
It was
are.
out
boiling
of-
shrimp? Is it a
It
shrimp?
was out of necessity
Boil.
because we expanded. It used to be just a few of us, and
I
now
missed
there's
the
like
shrimp boil.
a lot more.
Were you
than
not
a
at the
few.
shrimp
Yeah,
boil
that's
that
true.
year?
No,
we
I
went
was-
to that place
I
in
was-
Little
I
Tokyo.
was there.
I was talking to Nick.
Oh,
yeah,
oh, okay.
No,
okay.
I was there. That was what, 2016 or something?
it was
Earlier.
one of those years.
Earlier.
Yeah,
No, probably 2016. That sounds right.
Yeah. No, I mean, it seems
That was
like
great.
we would fill up a whole restaurant now with the size of our company and plus ones. So, yeah,
Yep.
it's good we're renting a venue.
it's probably
It's gonna
cheaper
be-
this way, honestly.
We're going to get
And we can do
crazy.
whatever we want. There's no rules.
That's true.
Yeah,
No rules,
murder.
boys.
Yeah, the laws don't apply.
There's no laws.
There's no laws on
Yeah.
It's
roofs.
a sovereign
Rent
party.
can
It's
run
like one of
wherever
those
he
Epstein
wants.
Islands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's not
See,
like that.
the
It's not
Negroni's
like
working.
that.
The Negroni's already kicking in.
Ren is. Oh boy.
It's only 2
This is gonna be
sips
great.
deep,
Yeah,
too.
we're renting a
Photos
boat.
resurfacing of you.
renting a boat, and we're sailing to an island that has no laws, and it's going to be a raucous party.
Ren, are you really gonna go on this jetpack ride? Well, I mean, it's not much of a jetpack
Let's not
ride.
talk about that yet. I'm not ready to talk about that publicly.
Did you ever go on your hot air balloon ride?
No, but we have a lead.
You like Googled it or something? You
I'm
found a
pretty
number?
sure you're gonna see me next summer in the air. Let me just say that.
I haven't heard
do we
anything
have
about that.
you have a legitimate lead on a hot air balloon?
Well, yeah, there's a bunch that take off in Lake Elmo, so I'm gonna just
That's true.
go to Lake Elmo and get on a balloon,
Wow.
and then I'll be in the air.
What's the context of this ride?
Well, it's something that's been hyped up. It was a huge announcement. And you
Must have missed that one.
you missed the announcement.
Yeah.
You must
But,
have missed it, Jordan.
yeah, but yeah. So hot air balloons. Well,
It's
well,
like
I guess I might as well
I
make a new announcement. Guys, I'm going to be on a hot air balloon potentially.
Hell yeah.
Can't believe I missed that one.
Weren't you supposed to do this while we had some meeting or something?
The Son of a Dungeon premiere.
yeah.
That's right.
But things didn't shake out. The weather wasn't great, so yeah.
Oh, shoot.
All balloon flights
No,
were grounded.
I'm serious. All balloons were grounded. There was rain.
I'm serious about doing the Son of a Dungeon premiere next year in a castle.
In a
What?
castle.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
Like
we're
go
gonna
to Europe.
We'll go to a castle.
Legitimately?
Or we can go to those like those like janky American ones.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
rich Hollywood elite castles.
Where it's just like some guy makes it it's basically a personal Ren fair.
Go to that one up in Oregon, you know? Was it between Eugene and Portland? There's that what is that one castle area? It's you were talking about, you went there
Castlevania.
recently.
The Enchanted Forest.
Enchanted Forest up in Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a theme park than a castle.
Isn't a theme park a janky castle?
It's pretty great. I highly recommend going to the Enchanted Forest. There's
I feel
tunnels.
like season
There's
3
tunnels
premiere
and
is
there's tunnel people.
They've just claimed it. They've claimed the tunnels.
You're gonna want to bring a headlamp
okay,
to
and a
this theme
helmet.
park. Honestly, yeah.
Okay.
There were some head bumps.
Don't go into a tunnel without a helmet.
Yeah, we learned
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ren and Nick learned that a few weeks ago.
Oh, we won't need our helmets. Oh, this is dumb. And then 2 steps later,
Did you
you're
like
scraping your
literally?
skull.
Did you literally? That's what happened.
I hit my
many
head
times.
on the roof of that tunnel so many times,
Well-
and it was like pointy, rocky bits too.
Say
And I
it's
kept
Skyrim.
breaking off bits of the roof of the tunnel, and it would rain down my back.
Yep.
And I was getting a little concerned that I might cause a cave-in with my head.
That's really funny because I remember specifically before you left for it, that was a topic. It was, hey, helmets. We're gonna wear helmets as we go through these tunnels.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Now you didn't.
now we know. Yeah,
Not-
they should
it's
hire
no
you to
joke.
like bore the tunnels wider.
Yeah, just like
Well, they were made so long ago when people were short.
That's true. What you were saying.
There
Times
was-
have changed.
before
it was
the
like
great
they were
growth.
minor.
Yeah.
They were miners.
Grew up in the great growth of 69.
Basically, once multivitamins were invented.
Yeah.
Thank you, Flintstone
Well, no,
gummies.
it's funny. My my grandmother was born in a. Her mom came over from Croatia with my great grandfather to run a boarding house for miners, and they would sleep. They had 3 shifts, so every 8 hours there'd be a new person in the bed, and they had the beds, like the beds were shorter because people weren't as tall, so they would have to. That was like her job growing up. They just did
Grow beds?
laundry, cooked. No, like it was just they ran the boarding house for all the iron ore miners that worked there.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
If you were a tall
Yeah.
person, would they bring out like a one of those like
Helmet.
you know those tables with the
of
little
those
leaves
helmet
that you put in?
table
You extend the
Oh,
table.
because your
They
knees.
just do that for your bed.
Or you just go.
Yeah.
You got a man.
a
You have to
leaf.
man
Yeah.
spread around the table.
table leaf.
It's a misconception though that all people were shorter back in history. People weren't actually like
Are you kidding me?
shorter.
You go
they
to-
were
I'm
just
pretty sure-
malnourished.
Have you ever
on
been
a
to, like,
larger
They
scale.
were micro.
No,
If you're
Then where?
Boston?
malnourished,
Like if you go to like Europe,
I'm just saying it's a
swear.
misconception. People think
Maybe-
that everyone was shorter back in the day.
Have you ever met a Dutch dude?
Maybe-
Those guys, there's not a single Dutch person in existence shorter than 2 meters
well, not
or like
now,
6.5 feet.
not in our century.
Not in our century.
if
If
you're
not
short
a
because
Dutchman
I
in
mean, maybe it's me.
existence.
Maybe it was my
On
own
average, people were
misperception. But like, I remember going to like the East Coast to like little parts of Boston, and you go through
The
the
little parts.
yeah, it's like the Shire. Like no, but I'm serious. Like I've seen some small ass doors.
There are small doors
Yeah.
for sure.
Like
But like, I think we're so used to doors that perfectly match our height that we don't like the idea of people like, oh, it's just normal for us to duck
Although,
a little
I
bit
guess-
when we go through
I
a
mean,
door.
what would the reason for a small door be other than because you're short?
I mean, I don't know, less materials.
Jan also has a
They didn't
Jan
plan
also
as
has
well.
a
But
Wouldn't it be more? It's the hole.
The door is the quintessential
Door is a-
absence of materials. It's like
the bigger the door, the better, really.
it's like we're running out of wood. Like make the door bigger. Like just it's less material. I mean, I guess you
I
need,
see.
You need a door to fill that space, I guess. But
guys. We ran out of wood and we had to make the doors. They're no longer 8 feet. They're now 6 feet. Sorry.
Yeah.
Everyone's just gonna have to deal with it.
It's definitely. Yeah, everyone was 4 feet.
Jan says there's another
sure.
misconception about how people used to walk. He says that people don't walk the same now that they did back in the day. Jan Losada.
How
He
so?
says that people used to walk on their toes.
Hey, let me tell you a tale about Storyblocks, today's podcast sponsor. Once upon a time, there was a little video creator. He was in the woods all alone, and he didn't have anyone to help him make his videos. It would take him all day and all night and weeks on end, and he would sit there and craft out all the little moments of his video. Instead of focusing on the things that really made his video unique and special, he spent the majority of his time getting B-roll and getting stock images and creating motion graphics templates just so that he could have smooth transitions in his video. And one day a little fairy godmother came out of the woods and told him about a little website called Storyblocks. He was amazed because he discovered that Storyblocks was the one-stop shop for all of his stock asset needs. He could just go to Storyblocks and he could download as much as he needed in high-quality 4K and use it in whatever projects he wanted because he had an unlimited all-access plan. And with his unlimited all-access plan, he had access to a virtually unlimited library, images and B-roll and audio assets and more that was constantly being refreshed that he could return to anytime he needed. He started pumping out videos and then he hired little elves to help him in the tree edit all the videos together. And before you knew it, he was a successful professional video creator. What did we learn from this little Christmas story about the elves? We learned that don't go into the woods alone without a stock asset platform. We use Storyblocks here at Corridor. We use it all the time. And you could too. All you got to do is head on over to storyblocks.com/corridorcast to get started. And that's exactly what you're going to get. And hey, if you're part of a team, talk to your team leader about an enterprise plan. Maybe you're one of the elves in Santa's workshop and Santa hasn't realized yet that there's a whole platform that all of his elves can use. I'm sure he's got a video department up there. I mean, how do you think all the Christmas movies get made? Have a great holiday and head on over to storyblocks.com if you're interested. Thanks to them for sponsoring. Now, back to the podcast.
It's actually true.
They're
I've
barefoot.
heard that,
It's
yeah.
actually true.
Well, if you're in a forest,
This is because when you're landing on your heel, that's a lot of
toe
shock
first,
going up through
yeah.
your leg. And your ankle is supposed to actually act like a shock absorber.
Yeah.
So you land on the ball of your feet and your ankles kind of absorb some of that impact. So in the before times, people used to run around and walk around on their tippy toes.
So did they all have ripped calves or what?
Yeah, why not?
Probably. There's
Must
actually
have
some
had-
videos on YouTube about how medieval people walked. It's very interesting.
It's the entire fundamental basis of the company Five Finger Vibrams. You know those glove
Oh, the
shoes
gl-
for your
yeah.
feet? Yeah.
The ones that wrap
Yeah.
around your toes
Yeah.
individually.
well, you've seen those
weird.
drawings
They're
Yeah, those are
of
uncomfortable.
people from the 17th and 18th century. They have those.
They're all strutting around.
Well, they've got the heels,
Yeah.
on their little toe shoes.
Is that why they invented heels?
What, to keep the dream alive?
It's not over
like
yet.
a boot heel because people were used to walking like that. So when they started wearing shoes, that was a natural way.
I don't know if they kept their heel up that high.
I mean, if you have a heel on your shoe that's 2 inches, it's you're
That's
gonna
good.
use those balls to your feet, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
If I got a heel, I'm going to use it.
We're total experts in this category,
Of
so
course,
everyone
yeah,
believes
yeah.
I
think
didn't know
sometimes
what
there
I
was
was speculating. I
6-inch
was just
stilettos.
pointing
We're
out
just
another
speculating.
thing that's about people of the past that I don't know if it's true or not.
We're
We
all
should make
totally
a podcast
guessing.
called Probably History where we just speculate about vague rumors that we've heard.
They weren't
Any
shorter;
others
they were
that
just
people want to throw
malnourished
out there?
and
Probably.
shorter.
Are there any others that people
They
want
had
to throw
just
out
as much
there?
potential to
we
be
could.
huge,
Yeah.
but they lacked the
Well,
protein.
no, I mean, I was when I went to the Met, earlier this year, I saw some big ass armor, dude. There was some big chunky armor, and it was there's also short person armor, but it was for the teenager kings.
yeah,
But there was some big mofos walking around in armor.
There were 2 people inside that set of armor.
There could have been. Yeah.
but also, it's you have
Conjoined
your
twins.
best your best fighters. You give them feasts so they can grow.
They were well nourished.
you have the elite, huge people who get a little
Elite
extra
eaters.
food. Like,
Train
I'm not
hard,
saying there
eat
weren't
hard,
huge
bro.
people. I'm just saying,
knight's
like,
life.
we break it down.
What did they do? In
You
all
can
this
measure how
time?
long they've been an elite knight by how big they are.
Yeah, whoever spends longer at the feasting table grows more. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I don't know,
still.
man.
Extra hams for Sir Gideon.
Extra hams.
We have a big battle coming up.
The big battle's coming up. We need you to have every inch of potential grown off of your bones.
Oh man. Yeah, that's probably history right there.
It's probably
It's probably true. Makes sense.
just read the first line of Wikipedia articles.
Yeah, we're willing
And
to
then just write the
accept
rest. Yeah.
any like notes on this history, to further improve it.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Probably history. That's it right there. We're done. We're done. Shut it off.
Yeah, that's next year's green light.
When is this podcast supposed to come out?
The day before Christmas, 2 days before.
The day before
Okay,
Christmas.
23rd.
Crispness. How is Crunchmas going for everybody?
Oh man, it's going great.
Yeah,
It's so
I'm
easy.
loving it.
Yeah, it's,
You
it's
know,
a piece of
this
cake.
year's pretty. I mean,
we were kind of joking.
no, I mean it's fine. On,
I mean,
on the crew front, it's okay.
Yeah, no, Jordan and I are mostly just joking because like these next 3 days aren't really that busy for us, but the last few weeks have been very busy.
Yeah, you guys have been on a tear the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's like the whole last month. Honestly, the whole last half year for me was incredibly busy.
Yeah, 1 week after another, man. But yeah, this week we don't have a video coming out, so
Yeah.
you guys are just like, oh, what do I do?
Yeah, I've basically just been wandering upstairs in a robe,
Yeah,
asking
yeah,
people
yeah,
what
yeah.
they're doing. That's my Crunchmas.
Are you wearing one of those creator burnout robes?
He was.
Yeah.
He totally was.
Good.
It's very comfortable.
Good. Yeah, you don't want to get burned out. Every now and then you got to put one of those on just to make
Yes.
sure that you're.
Put that on and
You're
sit in
on
the
the up
therapy
and
chair
up.
up there and just.
I saw you reclined at.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You gotta be.
Melt into Nick's
Burn out.
therapy chair.
Oh yeah.
Nick, I should get you one of those signs that Lucy has from Peanuts. That's like psychiatry help, 5 cents, and then people can sit in your chair
Yeah.
and talk to you.
No, yeah, for sure. I have a new chair. I have a new
Yeah.
like chill zone near my desk.
You could put
It's a nice
special
chair.
place.
It's all the rage.
Very special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's like a therapy
put a
chair.
head tickler there.
Put a little
One of
head
those scalp
tickler.
ticklers.
I could use a head tickler.
You and Dean have sort of invented the art of chill in the studio.
Oh, dude, we have a carpet. I'm gonna get some
Yeah.
plants next year. It's gonna be
Meanwhile,
very
I'm still
chill.
using a door as a desk.
Yep, you are using a door as a desk, and you still have the Post-it note that says "Don't clean my desk."
Yeah, that Carmichael put on his actual desk
Yes.
before it got turned into a
And then Jake cut
desk
it in half
leg.
to make it. It's the funniest thing.
It's
like-
still there. I
yeah.
haven't touched it. It's been there for years.
That thing's
The old
historic at this point.
It is historic.
That's real history. That's not probably
good
history.
desk.
That's
Meanwhile, I'm
real
over here
history.
being like, I kind of want to get one of those motorized standing desks where the entire
They're so
desk just
cool.
goes up and down. I have one at home, and it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, I agree.
You just press a button. And it's
Yeah,
like,
and it's got like presets. You press a button, it goes up to that preset level.
You
Yeah,
can get any
combine that
desk
with
you
some
want,
shoes with
Ren.
heels.
Just-
oh my gosh.
Posture will be so good.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's those 17th century shoes with like the one big buckle on it.
Yep.
yeah.
Which is,
What was the buckle for? What are they strapping in?
I don't
Heelys.
know.
Was that
Wait.
to keep the shoe tight
I guess so.
Must have been.
or the
Just
boot?
one big strap.
One
Who can
big
make up the most
strap.
plausible definition? For
Dude,
why
who's
those
gonna
were-
who's gonna make the first Heelys high-heeled Heelys?
like?
High
heels.
heels.
High
heels.
High heels.
Yeah.
Big wheel Heely.
Is that a thing?
Or
That's
just
a recipe
off-road
for
thing.
disaster.
That's what I
right
need.
there.
Heelys need to make a proper comeback. They're special, especially in Target.
I got back into
Come on.
Heelys
Yeah.
a year or
They
two
should-
ago. Remember that, Sam?
Yeah,
I was
those-
like really into Heelys there for a minute and
I
trying to
remember.
learn how to use them. And then you guys are like moving the desk around or something like that. And I was sliding over to it and I slipped out and I totally like hit the desk with both of my shins so hard the whole desk like jumped up in the air.
I remember
got it
that
on
exact
camera.
moment.
Wow.
It's a
I remember
dangerous
jumping up and
sport.
being like, I'm fine. And then I still have like an indentation in my shin years later.
There used to be some that had actual
I remember
roller
that.
blades that would come out. Do you remember those ones?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They would
no.
pop out. They'd actually pop out, and there'd
They
be
were not
four
as cool,
wheels.
dude.
There was a
So-
kid playing basketball at my school in those,
using those?
and he jumped up for a rebound, and they all came out. They popped out,
And
and
then
he
what-
landed and just immediately biffed. and he never put it again.
Oh,
That
man, I
was the
thought he was
end.
gonna land and then just like rolled away.
When your James Bond wheels
hit
come
the
out at
game
the
winner
wrong
and just
time.
rolled off into the distance.
They were super. So like all my friends had Heelys. They were all the rage, and I'm like, Mom, Dad, I really would just want Heelys for Christmas. That's all I wanted. And they got me what they thought were Heelys, and they were these big wide shoes that were like platform shoes.
Just moon
and they
boots.
had these like you could like get there's a button and you have to like jam the button down and then it pops out the wheels and then you have to open the wheels. But it's like this whole process. So my friends would friggin' just zoom away. And I'd be like, hold up. And I'd sit down and I'd be like, hold up. And I was like this little weak 10-year-old so I like push the button in and I'm like trying to get it. And then they're like these fat wheels. It was not as cool.
Those might be
dude.
the
Do you
same
guys-
ones.
Wait, do you guys remember soaps?
Soaps.
The shoes with the grinding rail. in the
Yes,
middle?
soaps. Yes.
Yeah.
What?
That was
I was gonna say,
People
what
were doing
happened to
soap
those?
tricks.
I do remember those.
just
That was
Just
middle
run into
school.
a
Just
rail
shoes,
and
so
Sam.
weird.
Yeah.
grind it.
So you could run up,
You know?
you could run up to rails and then jump and slide down the rails.
yeah.
So many
Tubular.
kids got hurt with those.
Well, because you have to land and you still have all that velocity. Then you just have to do a sprint when you land and not eat it.
it's so funny.
It's just asking for it.
You know what we need? We need to give children a way to grind on things.
Just that sentence is awful.
Let's give them soaps.
Just give them soaps, guys. Let's
Yeah.
get everybody in the studio soaps and see what happens.
Even the name.
Yes, we can
Soaps.
install grinding rails along every path in the studio, so we can just
Yeah.
grind to our.
I mean, I'm kind of not opposed to that.
The bell rings for school and everyone just hops on a rail and just slide to the
grind
next
out of the
class.
office.
We'll
grind in.
create
Public
one
rail
rail
system.
from Studio 3 all the way down to Studio 4.
Perfect.
Man, don't threaten me with a good time. That sounds great.
Ren would be down. Ren, you would figure that out.
Sure. I mean, I would happily ride
bones
what
later.
someone else figured out.
All right, so I have some news. It's not huge news, but over the weekend I got a dog.
What?
Oh, what?
What?
I did.
What kind of dog did you get?
It's a cattle dog.
cat?
So it's a cow?
Cattle dog.
No. So
It's a bull.
It's hard to explain. So
It's a sheep.
there's a dog here called the Texas cattle dog, but it isn't really a breed. It's like a mutt between two Australian cattle dog breeds. One being the Australian Shepherd and the other being
Oh,
the
the best.
Australian cattle dog, and they're just kind of like working dogs, and they're all over.
Oh, that's a
there's
nice looking dog.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
sure, yeah.
And so this one's
like
kind of a
Anubis.
mutt. This one's kind of a mutt between that and then what we think is like a little bit border collie, because she's black and white, and her ears aren't straight up like that. They're like half.
Border
Yeah, but
collies
she
are
has-
supposed to be like the smartest dogs in the world, right?
Yeah, she's so far shown to be that she's pretty smart. We got her from the pound. She's 2, and she's really good personality.
Nice.
But no one took the time to train her anything.
Oh man.
So I've been doing that. And actually just working with her yesterday and then this morning, she can already sit and stay and then come when called.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
But I don't know how this dog, I don't know where this dog came from. Like they said it was a stray, but yeah, I couldn't, like, she's 2 years old. She didn't know how to sit,
Well,
but she's smart. She
imagine
figures
just standing
stuff
up
out.
all the time.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
never
your whole
slept.
life.
like sleeping awake.
Awful.
Just not knowing what to do.
She
Yeah.
must have really strong legs, though.
Yeah, having to lean up
Yeah.
against the wall to go to sleep.
Her legs, you wouldn't believe how strong her legs are. She fell asleep
little
last night just
micro
standing
elephant.
there.
Yeah.
Just like a
Bless
horse.
her heart.
You just go from
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
I bet she was thrilled, though,
Yeah.
the first time.
Tip the dog over into bed.
Come on.
I've become more and more convinced that the 2 dogs that I got a couple years ago are idiots. They're so dumb.
Dude, one of your dogs.
what kind
is
of dog
super
are they?
nice. Sorry, what are their names again? It's
There's Gizmo and Ace.
Dude, so I think it was Ace.
Ace is the little black one.
Jenna was like holding him, and I was like petting him, and he's so nice. He's like, oh, and then in an instant, he went freaking angry Bilbo on me.
Yeah.
and
Try to
like
bite you.
Tried to bite me,
Yeah.
dude.
That's Gizmo. Gizmo's
Oh,
the
that's
white one.
Gizmo,
He's
okay.
larger.
Dude, but it was like it went from 0 to 11.
Yeah.
So fast.
It's a bit of a thing. Like we
Demonic
literally have
Bilbo.
to. It was straight up demonic Bilbo.
That's a great reference.
Yeah.
Demonic Bilbo.
Like
Dude, that
he's
scared the
bitten
shit out of
both
me.
Jan and Wes before, and it's like it's now a thing. It's now a
Yeah.
thing. We have to keep
have
him
to be
secluded
careful.
from other people until they get used to him,
He's just very
or
Yeah,
until he
biter.
gets used to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's also like the sweetest dog ever. He just wants nothing but love, and like he's happiest when he's literally like resting on your chest with his head just like looking up at you, and that's his happiest time. But then he also will try to bite everyone. So yeah, I've been struggling for
What
the last
are
2 years
those-
to teach him anything.
Are those poodles or what kind are they?
There's some sort of poodle mix with like I don't even know. I
Spaniel?
can never remember. Cocker spaniel and a terrier.
Poodles have
okay.
like vicious tendencies. I've noticed. Like,
Well,
they're
I don't
very
think I don't know.
territorial.
It's I mean, yeah, they can be because poodles in general are very smart. Like Obi was very smart. He was a smart dog, and he was like a mini poodle.
Yeah. Poodles are
and
smart.
He,
They're
he wasn't
hunting
very.
dogs.
He was never violent or anything like that. They also lived on the streets for years. Can't take
Okay.
the street out of the dog.
Yeah, well,
No.
the terrier mixed with the street life is probably what's happening there. Terriers are kind of like that. Poodles, obviously, yeah, they were used for French bird, like waterfowl hunting.
Yeah.
They don't shed. That's
Exactly.
Nice
I mean,
about
that's the
them.
main thing for us is that like Jenna's allergic,
Oh wow.
so we had to get the hypoallergenic. So they have hair instead of fur, and they don't shed. It's
helpful.
great.
Yeah.
But then you have to give them haircuts and baths all the time.
Yeah.
Is he protective of the house?
Yeah.
They're
get,
very
like-
They're territorial.
territorial.
Yeah.
Very.
How's that work? Does the dogs just get like
Terrier.
super long hair?
Territorial.
Like when we
They
got
look
them.
like a mop.
Yeah,
between us.
no, like I'm not even kidding.
Oh,
like,
wow.
have you ever seen that video or the picture? Did you ever see the picture of that sheep in New Zealand that escaped and lived in a cave for like a decade?
No.
And then they finally found him, and he was literally just a giant ball of wool. And he,
I need to look this
and
up.
he couldn't even see because his there was so much fur on his face that it had closed up around his eyes, so he was kind of
Whoa.
blind.
Have we just domesticated them so much that now they don't have like? So how
Oh
did,
my gosh, he
before
looks like a
humans-
meatball.
Before
He
humans
looked
were
at the
like
sheep, yeah.
farming sheep, how did they?
I mean, just as an image.
no, no,
Yeah,
that's not a dog.
This is a sheep.
That's not
this is-
anything.
That's a sheep, yeah.
This
That's,
is just,
that's the escapee sheep from New Zealand.
they look like kind of looks like a lion. They just look like
That's not a thing.
yeah.
I can't
hold
believe
that
that
up
that's
to
a
camera.
living
See if-
creature.
Looks like a
they
piece of
can see.
popcorn.
Well, I mean, just go look it up. A sheep
Dang,
with
dude.
long hair.
A piece of popcorn that will
Wow.
not stop
It's like the
popping.
longest wool jacket,
Just
the
the
thickest wool
I have to
thickest.
coat.
see.
They look like hard.
Oh, yeah,
it looks
okay.
hard. It looks like you hit it with a baseball bat, and like the bat never gets to the sheep because the hair is so thick.
Whoa.
So that's how my dogs looked when they were found and rescued.
Little
okay.
meatballs.
wow.
We didn't clean them up after that. Someone else had rescued them, cleaned them up, and had them up for adoption for like 2 straight months. But no one took them until we did.
But they named them. They named him Shrek,
Shrek.
the sheep who escaped shearing for 6 years.
Who escaped?
It was 6
Yeah,
years.
I mean,
6
They
years.
found his master plan in his cell.
yeah, these pictures. The sheep just is like, don't look at me. He's like, don't.
Still at
Stop,
large.
Please stop taking pictures.
all my brothers and sisters are shaved. Yeah,
Wow.
I think sheep
Wool is
have just
amazing.
been with
about
humans for
that.
so long that
Infinite.
they don't. That's why they're truly domesticated. Is that they can't survive without us.
They
Yeah.
get too hairy.
Yeah, they do.
And
they
they'd
do
be
get
blind.
too
What a
hairy.
curse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like that's speaking of history. It's like like a couple hundred years ago, maybe a couple thousand years ago, some guy was just like, dude, this animal's hair just does not stop.
And it's so warm.
And he's like, we should make more of these. Like, sheep, come over here.
He just found a tribe of sheep and they're all being smothered by themselves.
It's like, oh, you got one of those like new sheep that gets really huge balls of hair.
Here, let's
Selective breeding is actually like a legit thing, and it happens quick.
crazy.
Someone in Russia did this experiment years ago with foxes, where they selectively bred out any of the sort of wild tendencies of these foxes. They would basically take just the offspring that were the nicest ones and breed just those. And it was something like within 6 generations,
Whoa.
the foxes were like dogs. They were just like happy. They would come up to people like no big deal. And there were secondary things that were wildly shocking for me, at least. Their ears became floppy.
Yeah.
Like what? Like you always think of dogs with like floppy ears and whatnot, but you think of foxes and they've got like the really sharp pointy ears because they got to listen to danger. And after just literally 6 or 7 generations, all of that aggressiveness had been like bred out of them, along with the sharp ears. It was wild.
That could have just been like a bonus genetic
No,
trait.
that's-
though.
It was
That's
probably
consistent.
purely
It's like he's happy.
circumstantial.
His ears are a little weird, but we're looking for the happiness, and then they,
Yeah.
it's just got.
No, I think that's a thing with that's
What if-
that's
what if they did
consistent
that
with
with people?
dogs too. That's why most
that
dog
with
breeds
people?
their ears are down
Yeah.
like that.
What if they did that with people so everyone was like really happy?
All right, you ready
have
for a
floppy
quick?
ears.
Are you ready for a quick history of domestic sheep?
Is this probably
I'm ready.
history or real history?
This is Wikipedia history, so it's
Oh, just
probably
Wikipedia.
Probably history.
this is
Raw
most likely
information.
history. This is most likely history.
That's fair.
It's like history from concentrate. It's just kind of
The history of domestic sheep goes back about 10,000 to about 10,000 BC. Sorry, so 12,000 years.
All of
And the
mankind.
domestication of the wild mouflon in ancient Mesopotamia. So that's the mouflon. I'm looking at it here. It's still around today. It is. It's basically a ram. Looks like a ram.
There's nothing quite like
Interesting. Yeah,
mouflon wool.
Mouflon wool.
You know,
makes
the
sense.
Yeah.
best kind.
Freaking humanity
Uh,
spends thousands of years evolving to be like hairless, and then they just go
Not the
after
mouflon.
animals with more hair.
I know we could have solved that problem.
It's like, what's going
by
on?
just keeping our own hair.
Like,
not
I
having
don't
to
get it.
make
I don't get it.
clothes. It's
Yeah,
like,
but you can
come on.
eat the sheep too.
You can
Dual
eat it.
purpose.
Yeah.
what is sheep meat called?
Meat?
I guess the
Mutton.
genetic,
Muttons.
That's the word.
Yeah.
the advantage we get as humans is we can take our hair off whenever we want.
Yeah, that's true.
So you want to
That's
swim?
true.
Take
That
off
is
that
nice.
extra layer of hair.
Yep.
I mean,
That's one of my top 10
Too
things
hot.
about being a human.
Don't you
My
hate when you go
favorites.
swimming? You're super hairy. You're like,
I mean,
"Ah,
I
it's
kind of
weighing me down.
I am.
But this says the
Fix that one.
domestication of dogs could have occurred as long as 20 to 40,000 years ago.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So,
Same with cats, man. But
did
both
you know
those
that?
animals
Okay,
are
here's a fun
man's best
fun
friend.
fact that's probably history. The house cat is actually not like bred from larger cats. There's certain wild cats that are actually only slightly larger than house cats. That house cats are.
Bobcats.
Yeah, but even smaller than that.
Even smaller than bobcat?
bobcats. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
and there's some that are still
Like a
around today.
lynx?
Even smaller than that. Like slightly larger than a house cat, and just with a little longer legs.
I buy that.
And they're still around.
Do they like walk along like boulders and see like a little rock on the boulder and be like, whoosh, and knock it off?
Probably.
Probably
Just causing
they were
trouble in
probably
nature.
domesticated by the ancient Egyptians using laser pointers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
They'd
know?
probably like.
Well, they'd have little prisms that would reflect the sunlight.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The ancient
Exactly.
Egyptians would get loot drops from the aliens.
Yeah.
And they were included.
One was a cat.
One was a cat and one was a laser pointer. That's why they built the pyramids. Like, loot drop right here, please.
Well, the UFOs wouldn't fly very low, so
They were ramps for the loot. They had to slide down the ramp,
slide down into these
rapidly decelerate.
these buckets. They put buckets around the pyramid so the loot would slide.
Yeah, they just, all around the whole base of the pyramid was just a row of buckets
It's
to
true.
catch all the loot.
It's probably history.
I've seen drawings. I've seen drawings of that.
No, it's true.
It's depicted in the hieroglyphics.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably true.
I remember it.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
yeah, my friend went there and he said that they had dug up a few buckets from the sand next to the pyramids.
That's amazing.
It's full of laser pointers.
Yeah, like-
And only the
pointers.
rarest of rare loot drop buckets would
Rare.
get buried with the pharaohs.
Right. Yeah. That's actually why they started digging them up in the first place. Is they were
They
like,
gotta get that loot.
the word got out.
Word got out.
Yeah. They started digging them up.
That's
I
amazing.
mean,
No,
why
but
are we
I'm
grinding over here?
I'm super excited to have a dog again. It's gonna be fun.
That's awesome. Yeah,
that's really cool.
I'm excited to train her.
You've got at least a small yard.
Yeah, there's definitely some room for her to get out and about and learn some stuff, and maybe we'll get her in a video at some point. Who knows?
What did you name this dog?
Yeah.
Her name's Alamo.
Alamo.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I mean,
But we just call her,
you know.
we call her Mo or Momo for short.
Momo.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
leave the house.
I mean, that,
every
like-
time you leave the house, someone already always has to ask if you remembered the Alamo.
This way you'll never forget.
This way you'll never forget the Alamo.
That's why we did it.
Yep,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, so
That's
got
very
some training to do. She learned quick though. I started with just some
good, man.
basic stuff yesterday, and she likes milk
She's getting
bones.
it. Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
nice.
she's already figuring that out. But she already found my yard is fenced, and she already found 3 openings in the fence
Oh, wow.
and
Nice.
snuck under 2 of them.
Wow.
So,
Tests your security from the inside.
oh yeah, exactly. She's like the the programmer that you hire
exactly.
to
The
like.
ethical hacker.
The white
Get
hat.
some
Yes.
red team.
Yes. Yep.
That's so cool.
So
Yeah.
she's doing that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing for the holidays?
Man.
Oh man.
I'm sticking around in town, actually.
Oh, you're like
Yeah.
gonna be one of 3 people. Everyone, it's so weird. Everyone leaves LA
I know.
during the holidays. It's kind of
I always
it's kind of
have.
a nice time of year to be in town. Actually, it's just
sure.
quiet.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to just kind of like hanging out, getting better at Cinema 4D, and just relaxing.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of learning time, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to just like working on some random little projects here and there, just to kind of get better at things.
Nice, man.
I want to experiment more with Embergen.
Dude, me too. That seems so cool.
Yeah, it's super rad.
Man. My goal is to not work at all.
Mm.
If I can not work at all, I'm gonna be so happy.
See, I don't consider that work. I consider that play,
Yeah.
but only
Even-
if it's actually foreplay.
If it's
You've been
foreplay?
doubling down too.
Oh God!
You use Embergen as foreplay? Is that what I'm saying?
Light a little fire over here.
Merry
Open
Christmas.
your laptop and you press a button and a real-time fire simulation happens to set the mood.
Oh, Ren.
Sets
Like,
the
wow.
candles up.
Is this HDR?
Goes on a couple
HDR.
online forums to figure out some things about the program.
Oh man.
As you load up your fluid simulation.
Okay.
I'm just naming rendering.
That's
sure.
funny. That's
Oh, no.
That's funny.
Hey, we went there. It's okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
went there.
I'll go with
it
you.
a soft
I don't
body?
mind.
naughty VFX joke. So
Are you going up to Seattle though?
I am. Yeah, I'm gonna drive up though. I'm doing the road
Nice,
trip.
perfect,
Yeah.
good. I'm
Nice.
glad. I'm glad.
Hoping
you've
I
got-
don't get like my mom's been calling me every day. She's like, I hope there's not a snowstorm. Make sure there's not a snowstorm.
Oh,
And
you'll
I'm
be
like,
totally fine in a snowstorm.
Really?
Oh yeah, easy. Especially because you've got all-wheel drive.
Without chains?
Yeah.
See, that's what I keep telling her. I'm like, Mom, don't worry.
you
worry
don't need
about me."
chains on like an interstate.
Up over the pass in Southern Oregon, if it is actually legit
it's like a
snowy,
blizzard,
you kind of
Yeah.
need. I was driving home from Seattle last year, and it was through that pass in Southern Oregon. They're like south of Ashland.
Yeah, yeah,
And it started snowing, and I definitely slid across the lane at one point.
Holy
it was
shit.
scary.
I'm going to be
Have you
driving
gone-
so
I was going
carefully.
like 20 miles an hour. It was slow. Everyone was going slow.
Oh my gosh.
It was easily the most tense moment of that entire drive.
Jesus.
Have
But
you
I
gone
only
through
I only had
Vail
rear
Pass?
wheel drive in my old car.
Oh, okay.
And front wheel drive, especially because those electric motors, they're able to actually measure the torque on each motor or the traction 1,000 times a second and modulate. If the front tire starts losing traction, it instantly cuts the power to it and
Wow.
increases the torque on the back. And by the time you get to the next when you get to that slick spot that it detected on the front wheels, the back wheels have deactivated and the front wheels have reactivated. 1,000 times a
that's
second.
awesome.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Electricity.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna link my mom to this podcast so she can rest easily. Yeah. But I'll probably be up there by then.
Yeah, skip
so
through the history stuff.
Yeah.
This is one part.
She'll get pissed off at all that. She'll be like, how dare you guys butcher history? No, man, I'm going up there. It's gonna be really nice. Just hopefully hanging out, absorbing winter vibes, you know.
That is the nice
And,
part about leaving,
Yeah.
is that actually feels like
Yeah,
Winter.
exactly.
You know?
What about you? Are you
nothing. I'm staying here.
chilling?
I'm staying
Really?
here. I'm chilling out.
Dude, we should play some basketball.
I'm so down for that, dude. I'm
I
so
want to.
down.
I want to. Like we've been talking. You, Dean, and I have been talking about playing some basketball. And
Need to hoop it up.
Don't
Back to
wear
my-
your
Maybe Christian
Heelys when
too.
you do it.
Yeah, right. No, Heelys are safe. It's the other ones, whatever those are
Oh,
called.
right,
and no
right.
soaps allowed on the court.
No
Call
soaps
that now.
I used to have those shoes that would train you to jump higher, or like
Dude, jump soles.
Moon
Jump
shoes?
soles. I mean, because they
Me too.
basically had platform. They were platform. They were inverse high heels. They were high balls.
High balls. Yeah.
Eyeballs.
Yeah, it was basically you'd have like a 2-inch platform underneath your toes, essentially, and your heels wouldn't have anything below them. They were just hovering in the air. And so, as you did your exercises and stuff like that, you would train your calves to be stronger, I guess.
Yeah, to be
It was like-
buff.
Buff.
Buff calves. I took them on a cruise. I went on with my family, and me and my brother spent all our time
swole.
training our calves on a cruise. What is the point?
What is
I still have the
this?
NBA dream alive in my soul. Yeah. Thanks, Jump Soles, for ruining my cruise.
Jump soles.
Oh man, I can just picture that.
Yeah. My calves are tasty, though, by the end of it, I'll tell
Was
you.
your brother older or younger?
Older. 18 months older.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So we
Oh,
were
wow.
pursuing the NBA together.
Back to back.
And we
These are
failed
weird.
together. You know?
These are
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys-
that's what I'm talking
There's
about.
some really weird looking ones. Did you have these crazy ones?
No, mine were like Franken boots on the front.
are
Like
they-
these big, thick.
Mine
Okay.
were DIY. I made them.
Oh, you just put like strapped weights to your toes?
No, not weights. I took like in the gym you have like really thick foam padding. I just cut up a bunch of those in the shape of the bottom part of my foot,
You-
and
oh,
I
were they
literally
your
just
foam pads,
duct
or-
taped them to my shoe.
Where'd you get the foam
Are,
pads?
are these
I
the
stole them from my
Frankenstein ones you
dad's
had?
gym padding.
like this?
Those are the ones.
Wait, what?
Those are literally
It's
the
like
ones.
yeah,
You
it's like
wore
why-
these on a cruise?
I was walking around a
Jump
cruise ship in
soles?
those.
Yes,
Sam-
yes, I've seen those.
Sam,
Yes,
put
Look at how
those in
huge
chat.
these are.
No girl
They're-
talked to me.
They're like
I gotta
see
boxing.
this,
They're like
dude.
boxing gloves.
Not
for
even
your
the staff.
feet.
Toes are dangling
Not
out like
even the
this.
staff.
You're like, is there something wrong with your
what?
legs? It looks like they're like
The Jump Soles V5.
they look like
Free
you
shipping.
just had like bone surgery or something, or you're like going through physical therapy and relearning to walk.
Dude.
Youth is for making those kinds of mistakes.
Wait,
You know?
what you got
I
these?
spent
As,
my money on it.
you got these
You got
as
those
shoes
jump
to
sole
wear.
V5s,
Yes.
Why did
dude.
wait, you got
Shoe
them?
attachments to wear.
But why did you get them again?
To make the NBA, Sam.
You wanted to be better at basketball.
Yeah, the only thing that was holding me back was my calves.
And then you're like,
That
we're
was the only
they're like,
thing.
Yeah.
son, we're going
Everything
on a
else was
cruise.
there.
Yeah.
We're going on a cruise soon, and you looked at
Yeah.
all the stuff you could pack, and you're like, should I bring
Yeah.
these?
I only have limited space. Let me stuff these boots.
It's like, am I
in
going
my
to use
bag.
these? And then you bring them, and it's like, all right.
So
well,
did you like bring a basketball too?
No, didn't bring a basketball. Was kind of just hoping they'd
So
have
your
one.
whole plan to get into the NBA was to wear these.
Literally, that's
huge
what I'm
shit.
telling you. Calves held me back.
I mean, it's a great hit conversation.
weren't for my
starter, though. It's
calves.
like, what's wrong with your shoes? and they're like, oh, I'm training.
training for the NBA.
For the
That's all I
NBA.
tell them.
I've got dreams of joining the NBA
As I walk through the dining room
with these like
with my centaur boots.
Sliding around.
Where are you going? To the NBA.
Yeah. This cruise is but a mere like pit stop.
So what happens to the front part of your feet? Do your toes just dangle out?
No, they support it. They
You
support
don't
it.
go in them barefoot, Nick. You don't have nasty toes hanging over the edge.
This
Cruise is just a ride to southeastern
they
Europe
attach
so
to
I
your
can join
shoes.
some of the leagues there.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
this is.
Everything I'm doing is
even
just like a small distraction. Wow.
Why did I do that? I don't know.
That's
was a
that's a really
training
good story.
Do you have any pictures of this?
Guy wearing them? He's just like, imagine someone,
They look like tourist sandals that are just far too big.
they look like just huge sandals.
Just wearing it on the beach. Just
Wait, hold on.
That is-
Everyone listening to
enjoying
this
island
podcast
life.
is going to be so upset
No,
right
if you
now.
just
Yeah,
Google
people need to
jump
know.
soles.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh
Just
my
Google
gosh.
Jump Sole V5.
They might still
Yo,
sell them.
this is the part in the video podcast where the image actually pops up of what we're
That's-
looking at right
Sorry,
now.
Christian.
If they, I'll tell you what, if they
That
ever
is
make
amazing.
jump soles with Heelys in them, I'm first in line.
Son,
All right.
That's really good.
Ugh.
That's really good.
that's yeah. So I've never been on a cruise before. I'm kind of terrified of it. Like, hey,
That's
you're
fair.
on this ship, and you're gonna be there for what, a week?
A week,
more?
yeah. Mhm.
Well,
With
as
the
long as
same
you schedule
people.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
They take you
Dude.
through a little, like, you know how
Sounds-
before you get on an airplane, they go through like the flight safety instruction. When you onboard after that, then everyone has to come out, and then the captain like addresses everybody and tells you what to do in an emergency and stuff.
is it like Titanic rules still?
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah,
it's like,
fight women and children only, and then
Gotcha.
everyone else dies. And
no, it's
Yep.
for real. Yeah, you go on and you all stand on the deck or wherever outside, and then everyone lines up, and there's a huge announcement. They're like, "You're on my boat. These are my rules.
yeah,
Here's the
Let's
deal."
get drunk.
And then they go like, "All right, let her rip." Yeah,
that's basically accurate. Yeah, that is pretty much what they say.
yeah, no,
That's
it's
the
great.
nautical term, right? That's
Let her rip.
Let her rip.
Let her rip.
Yeah,
let it rip on the starboard side. Came
I
from
mean,
Her
cruises are
Majesty's
fun.
Navy.
They're pretty great.
Yeah, it's like food and
I
rest.
did that for my bachelor party. It was
Okay.
dope.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I was
remember.
about to say Jake had a
Jake-
different
I've heard the story.
experience.
Yeah.
Got a little
No,
seasick there?
that's still
Oh wait,
one of the best.
has Jordan not heard the story?
What is the
That's still
story?
one of, despite what happened at the end, it's still one of the best trips I've ever been on.
It was an
And
amazing
in fact,
trip.
that almost makes it like, that's the icing on the cake.
The peak.
Jake got attacked by a radar dish.
the finale to
censored one?
the cruise was amazing. It was amazing.
You're gonna have to explain that one.
I don't.
Well,
Can I explain the story since I wasn't there?
Give us the Cliff Notes version.
Sure. Give us the
why don't
probably
you
history
explain
version.
it? Give us the probably
How about we
history.
start with a little context?
Probably.
No context. No
We
context.
can't have any
Jake
primary
was
sources
up,
for
they're up on the
probably
roof,
history. Okay.
shooting guns at each other.
We're
and
playing TTT with Nerf guns. All right.
guns. We
And
snuck
it
out
was-
a bunch of firearms onto the ship.
We
and
had
were
Nerf guns
having
everywhere.
some friendly, non-lethal round fire back and forth.
And Jake, again, I wasn't there, so I know exactly what happened. Jake wanted to get an extra vantage point, so he climbed up the side of like the top bit that you're not supposed to go
Giving
up.
him way too much credit. I don't think
And-
there's really
and
a reason why
he
he
got
did
up
this.
there.
That literally was why. That was why.
Yeah. All right.
And he got up on the top and looked down and was gonna snipe a guy, but those radar dishes are basically long logs that are spinning.
They're like giant, huge couches.
And he got hit in the back and thrown over the side and landed, 800 feet down onto the platform.
800.
How did you survive that?
That's probably history right there. There's a little
Probably his.
history.
Yeah, I'm
going
just
on.
trying to stay in theme,
Well, I mean, that was funny, but I think,
how
in
I
my
remember it.
opinion, the funniest part for me, anyways, was how people reacted to it, because the detail was that Clint and Dee
Oh my God, yes.
were underneath Jake when it happened. So Jake climbs this thing, gets whacked by this massive, like, unstoppable force, and he gets. It was like 15 feet.
The captain's like,
Yeah.
what the heck just happened to
Probably
me?
15 feet.
There's a mountain in front of us. What just happened?
But Dee and
Probably
Jake
wasn't
are-
20. 20's pretty. 20's like the height of the ceiling in Studio 4. I don't think
Yeah,
it's that
it's,
high.
it couldn't have been that.
It was 12 to 15 feet, but yeah, Jake gets
Yeah.
whacked. He gets thrown like basically head first down towards the ground, and Dee and Clint are there, and they have the first reactions. And Dee's reaction is pretty standard. He kind of like reaches out with his arms and just kind of breaks Jake's fall with his wrists, basically,
Nice.
which
Yeah.
proceeds to make it so now he's got like sprained wrists for like the next 2 days. But then Clint does the best thing ever, which is, like when you drop your phone and like you like kind of
You
like
try to
you kind of like
break the
tap
fall.
it with your foot, so it doesn't hit the ground. Clint basically just kind of puts his toe out.
He tried to hacky sack Jake.
He just kind of puts his toe out, and Jake just crashes into his foot.
Did you have visual on that, Sam? Did you have visual on that when it happened, or is
Yeah,
that?
I saw it happen. I saw it
Okay.
happen, and then Clint. Then Clint basically ends up having a sprained ankle for like the next few hours because of this as well. And then Jake was like knocked out for like probably about 10 seconds.
No way.
Wow, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
You went out. You blacked out on it.
You had to get stitches, didn't you?
Yeah, on my chin.
He got some stitches.
Yeah.
Did anybody ask you any questions about what you were doing up there?
Yeah, they came up, and the guys grabbed him, and then I was like, nobody touch me. We'll just leave it like this, because that way no one's implicated. I'll tell them it was all my idea, which it was. And then they came up and checked me out. And then once they made sure that my neck wasn't broken, they brought me down to the infirmary,
The medical bay.
Yeah, and then they had me sign a bunch of release waivers and stitched me up and said, "Fuck off."
Were any of those NDAs? Because
You
if
learned
so,
a valuable lesson
you might be
today.
getting a call.
Oh my
No,
gosh,
no,
man.
I don't think so.
Somewhere
We've
there's
done a whole video
of that.
about this before.
That's
There's
amazing.
CCTV footage,
Yeah, and then-
probably from multiple angles of this happening
Oh
somewhere in the
yeah,
world.
probably.
And so, like, by
Yeah.
the time it's all said and done, it's like 3 a.m. And yeah, we capped that night off with 20 pastrami sandwiches.
Rubens,
We
Rubens.
20 Rubens. Yeah, we made
Yeah.
a call.
Is
We're
there
like,
just
not
an
the
we're
ending
gonna
I
eat
was
20
expecting.
Rubens and 20 apple juices. And they bring this huge cart of room service down with 20 of these
How many
sandwiches.
of you were there for?
Well, like, we ordered extra ones, but like we realized that the room service was free, and they also, like, previously we'd been like we'd call on one room and get 5, and then go in another room and
Yeah.
call 5, and then we realized no one gave a shit by the end.
There's no
so
cap
we just
on
were like, look,
pastrami.
20
guys are
sandwiches to
scamming
this
for
one
Rubens
room.
on the high
Just this
seas?
one room, 20 Rubens.
You're like, hey, did you know there's a secret? Shh, come here. There's a way you can get free Rubens.
Just ask for
Pastrami.
They won't let you get more than
You
6
just literally
Rubens,
call
but
them
if you follow
at any time of day.
if you follow my simple
I know a
steps.
guy in the kitchen. He'll bring us down 20.
This guy Ruben.
It's too much pastrami.
It's like that's wow. We have come a long way. We went from freaking sailors eating hardtack with maggots in it to freaking 20 Rubens.
20 Rubens
and apple juice.
and 20 apple juices. Because there was no more
Yes.
alcohol being served at that point.
Not
Yeah.
to you guys. They're like, these guys are cut off, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah.
I remember
I,
also hearing that there's like this kind of like standoff of like, all right, we're not gonna get angry at you for hitting our radar dish as long as
Right.
you don't get angry at us for getting hurt.
That was
We'll just
basically
leave it at
the
that.
deal.
It's kind of a
yeah.
stalemate. Jake's like, oh, I might sue. They're like, oh, hey.
Would
No,
20
I-
pastrami sandwiches change your mind?
Bring it 23.
Let me take a look.
They had a
Yeah.
after I was all fixed up, they had a lawyer in there, and they were like, "Yeah,
Wow.
so
Wow.
The ship's lawyer.
we'll just both walk away from this."
Built-in
And I
lawyer.
said, "That's probably best."
I mean, having a lawyer on your ship when you have that many crazy people, it's
Yeah.
like it's kind of
That guy
necessary.
works, man.
Lawyer on
Yeah.
the container in the container.
They also still had a sergeant at arms who's like the the enforcer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on
sword.
Yeah, he came up with a short sword.
Wait, for real? Holy crap!
No.
I want to believe. Let me believe.
Came
had a
up with a
huge
short
mustache.
sword and jump soles.
Yes.
He had a
Yeah,
mustache.
he had a huge mustache.
He sleeps in a hammock.
Yeah, he's
It's like one of those forward
he's got a
facing
short
Napoleon
saber
hats.
and a
this
2-shot
way.
pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You gotta have a sergeant in arms.
Came up in his
So-
like undies and everything too. Yeah, his
Pirates,
nightgown.
man. Yeah.
So yeah, cruises are great.
I've never been on a cruise.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
wonderful.
man.
We should go.
on a
We should all
cruise.
go. It would be a
should
lot
go.
of fun if like we took the whole company. It would
So
be
we
like
got
Yeah,
what, 15
I'm
people. So how many
down.
pastrami sandwiches
Let's
is
do
that?
it.
15 people. It's like that's a lot of pastrami, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't ask any questions.
Could get like 150 pastrami sandwiches.
Yeah. You start doing the math, you realize there's a lot of potential.
Imagine how tall we'll grow.
Yeah, imagine how tall.
We'll all be like 7'3" getting up, just full of pastrami in our
We'll
bones.
leave our jump soles behind because we don't need them anymore.
We're all going
We're
right
on
to
the
the
way to the
NBA,
NBA now.
Jordan, how did you not make the
Pickles for
NBA
me.
when all you had available to you was jump soles training and Reuben sandwiches?
I didn't know about the pastrami hack. If I knew about the
Under-
hack, I would have been in the NBA by now.
Right,
for
but
sure.
under our medieval theory, you should have easily made it.
Ugh,
I know.
I wasn't eating enough.
Yeah,
Clearly,
you could have.
Could've
Hindsight
been.
is 2019.
We'll have to pay the contractors to enlarge our doors ahead of schedule before we get back from the cruise. Oh, we're
Yeah,
gone.
just you wait. We're gonna need bigger doors next January when everyone gets back.
Like, make sure the loading dock is clear.
Yeah, make sure the loading door is open.
Walk right in there.
Install the soap rails. So we're sliding in like this. Sliding
You're getting back.
We're like 7 feet tall. We got soaps. Yeah.
The dream or reality.
Yeah. Reality.
Where's a good place to cruise? Where do you guys cruise?
Alaska.
Alaska? That's
Alaska.
cold, man.
Alaska's
I mean,
cool though.
Alaska.
It's like a cool place to cruise.
It is pretty cool. It's
Ensenada
at
is
least
the
0 degrees.
Really?
day
Ensenada.
that we did.
That's more the
Ensenada.
vibe I'm
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah, that one's cool. It's like basically 3 days. It's like a day and a half. You go down there, you chill at port, and walk around in the city. We went ATVing and stuff. It was great.
Nice.
And then a day and a half back. Pretty chill.
That's where the chicken spinner came from too.
That's where the chicken spinners came from.
Yeah, because they have the market
Jake was a
sellers.
god when we went to
What is a
Mexico.
chicken spinner? What
Jake
is-
was basically like a god. He just walked in and everyone was like,
swung the chickens?
"Sup?" And he's like, "Yo,
I'll take some of
what?
those.
yeah."
You're gonna have to explain.
Yeah,
what's
we
a
need
chicken
context on that.
So there's all these market sellers that
Yeah.
get the people that are coming on and off the
All the
ship,
tourists
right? And so
coming
they,
off, yeah.
so they bring all their goods, they're like
the wares.
handcrafted goods, all the wares for sale. And so I was just buying a lot because I was buying stuff for like my wife, and I was buying stuff for my mother-in-law, and then the chicken spinners came along, and this guy had this thing where it just spins, and the chickens just their heads go up and down, and I was like, well, I gotta have that. So I got
real
that.
chicken?
I was imagining like a butcher, like a chicken seller with
Like
like, little
rotisserie.
chickens. Exactly.
Oh,
It's like,
And I had
this wheel,
also-
it's like a wheel on a rod, and you spin it around, and
And
all
it's
the
loud
chickens,
as hell, right?
the chickens come to life, and it's not that loud.
Oh. These
I
are the
had
same
also-
chicken spinners we had in Son of a Dungeon, right?
No, that was
That was
a mistake. That was an artist's interpretation of a
That
chicken
wasn't a
spinner.
true chicken spinner. Yeah, that wasn't a true chicken spinner. So, and then I had won some money playing blackjack too. So I was just like buying
living it up.
everything. And then once
living
they
it up.
saw that I was buying stuff, like a bunch of other people just swarmed me. And then I was like cracking jokes with the kids and like playing, and they had a football.
Mr.
And, like,
Moneybags,
and
Yeah.
it was just
popular
fun.
man.
Yeah, he nailed it.
I think I'm more confused as to what a chicken spinner is now, though.
That's fine.
That's
Don't,
just
Yeah,
one day we'll find one.
yeah.
maybe you'll have to come on the cruise and we'll find
the
one
only
together.
way.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Jake can introduce us to his friends down there.
Yeah, we went to Papas and Beer, the bar, and some people get very rowdy there. It's kind of an anything goes type place. And I was sitting there like with the chicken spinner in the middle of the bar, just spinning it around. And there's like, just,
Everyone loved it, of course. Everyone was stoked, probably. on the
yeah,
chicken spinner.
there were some things going on around us that were, it was like Tortuga, it was like in Pirates of the Caribbean when they go to Tortuga and there's like guys fighting and there's naked women and there's like
Chicken
chaos.
spinners.
Chicken
It was
spinners.
very chaotic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was there the guys like punching each other, falling off the balcony above?
exactly,
On the
yeah.
card table? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Great.
Here, this
and
is
then
a chicken spinner.
that's
So
when,
it's a
that's
paddle.
when also we
It's a
invented
paddle.
bucket of beers.
It's a paddle,
Yeah.
and then
Bucket
there's like
of
a
beers.
chicken, an
Bucket
egg
of
weight
beers.
underneath it, and you
Yeah,
spin
no, that
it.
makes sense now because Jan
all
always
the
says
chickens
that.
are like start pecking at the
Oh,
center.
like hungry hippos.
see.
Yeah, it's like hungry hippos on a paddle, but with chickens.
Oh, okay, that's not what I was imagining.
So you spin it, and the little weight like animates the chicken.
I'm
they
just
all like peck at
imagining
the
Jake
seeds.
sitting in the middle of a freaking pirate bar,
Yeah,
spinning
we-
this chicken.
Yeah, everyone's
contraption.
like down and
That's basically what it was. And we were just chilling in a corner, just kind of taking it all in, and chicken spinners and beer, and that
Very
was
intense. Very
Yeah.
intense. Chicken
Living the
spinners and
dream.
beer.
it. Yeah, it was fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
good
glad I
times.
didn't die.
Yeah.
Are you going anywhere
Me
for
too.
the holiday?
Yeah, going out to the Midwest.
Oh, nice.
Gonna get in some snow action. I don't know.
Nice.
It's really snowy out there right now, so it's
Dang, I
gonna be pretty exciting. It's pretty cold.
I hope
Single
to do some
digits.
snowboarding next year. I really want to go snowboarding again. It's been a while. There's not much snow in LA.
I mean,
There's some snow in
you're not
Big
going to be
Bear.
up in Washington, are you?
No.
Dang it.
Maybe, but very unlikely.
Okay. Next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yep, my brother's coming down from PA, from Lancaster, PA.
From Pa!
It's gonna be a good
Very
time.
nice. Are you guys going to do a foot race?
Dude, his wife Georgianne, my sister-in-law, she could smoke me now. Like she just ran a 2:46 marathon,
Wait, serious?
which is
246 kilometers.
no.
like
Inches.
like sub 3 hour
Inches.
marathon.
Yes, a sub 3 hour.
I don't know. Holy
No.
crap.
Yeah,
What?
6 minute miles for 26 miles.
Okay, that's
insane.
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, she
Wow.
just did that last weekend.
Holy smoke.
Are there like special shoes that
Yeah, actually,
get?
the jump soles. She has the jump sole V4.
It's the ticket. It's the
Swears
ticket to
by it.
everything.
Wait, are you being serious?
No, no.
But they're inverted. It's just the toe side has the shoes. Yeah, you strap them on.
But you are being serious about the marathon part.
Yeah, I'm being serious
That's
about
insane.
that. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Wow.
Yeah,
Good for her, man.
yeah. So
Well,
she's
putting you both
crushing
to
it.
shame.
Yeah, that's legit nuts.
She
man.
is, man. I mean, my brother did a marathon. He did like a 2:15 marathon or something really fast. But
Weak.
yeah,
Just doing a marathon alone is mind blowing to me.
Yeah, man.
Let alone averaging better than I've ever done on any single mile.
My dad started doing marathons in his late 30s, and he did a marathon on his 40th birthday.
wow.
And he was able to wear like this jersey saying, I'm turning 40 today, and I'm still running marathons, or I forget what it was, some sort of like clever little pun or something. I forget. He got on
Yeah.
the news. It was great. It was
Oh,
the
that's
Houston
awesome.
Marathon
Oh, nice,
in the year 2000.
nice.
Y2K.
Oh, Y2K.
It's like only yesterday. Were any of you nervous for Y2K?
No.
I have memories of going to Costco and my family was like buying all this water and batteries and stuff.
So there was some fear there.
Clocks.
Clocks.
Clocks that wouldn't go wrong.
I remember waking up on the morning of Y2K, and I walked downstairs, and my dad's watching the New Year in must have been like Japan or Hong Kong, and he was like, "Yeah, look, everything's still fine."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's
But he
funny.
was, yeah, he was a skeptic.
The Y2K bug.
It's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like, it was going to be a problem, except for the fact that a whole ton of software engineers worked their butt off for like a year to make sure it wasn't
Yeah.
going to be a problem.
Right.
So it's like the media sensationalism actually helped the problem as
Yeah.
well as fueling the fire.
Yeah.
Dude,
But
they
now everyone's
never-
like,
they
oh,
never
everyone
do
just
that.
remembers it not being a big deal
Yeah.
because they solved it.
Yeah.
The issue was what? The clocks.
the men in
on
black
computers.
were
It was like
there,
a weird
guys.
cataloging thing in software, and I honestly do not remember the details of the problem at all, but it had to do with some sort of weird sort of indexing problem with how
The
stuff
crux
worked.
of the problem is that it could have bankrupted the entire banking system because of interest. That was taken to the extreme. Is that if it resets to 0 from 9.9, then it stops tracking interest and like monetary inventory, and then it's gone. You lost
Yeah.
like
No one thought
So
we'd
they-
make it that far, so they
Yeah.
just didn't.
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah.
plan. Like, oh,
it would have
shit.
taken like
Year
trillions
2000
and trillions and trillions of dollars out of the economy, which would have like eventually caused like a, you can't do
That's-
that because then the credit system collapses and then everything else collapses.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
more
that was the
understandably
fear.
terrifying than I expected.
Yeah. I thought it was bugs when I was like 10. I was very young.
You thought it was
so.
what?
The Y2K
Yeah, I mean,
bug.
everyone's saying that there's bugs coming. I was like scared.
Just on the horizon.
I
You
think
wake
I
up
was
on January
9.
1st and there's just
Yeah, I was
locusts
9.
everywhere.
Yeah, there's just God damn it.
That time is nigh.
Bugs are
Bugs
coming
are
to the
coming.
internet. What?
Bugs are coming and they're right on time.
Bugs came out of the internet tubes and
Gosh
started.
darn it.
Amazon
us.
2-day bug.
No, man. Yeah, I have very, very small memories of that. So funny. Yeah. Well, crisis averted,
Shoot.
everyone.
Yep,
Shoot.
that's right. A lot of hardworking people doing stuff that you don't even know they're doing to make the world
Yeah.
go around. That's a whole thing. It's a real thing.
Just like us.
The real heroes.
just
Just
like us.
If it wasn't for this podcast,
How would you know
Y2K
history,
would-
maybe?
how would we know?
How would we know what happened in the history?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to
Probably, right?
Probably History with Corridor Cast. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we hope you have a great holiday. And
Yeah,
thanks
shout
for,
out to my smaller ancient peoples.
yes, shout out to all the smalls out there.
Send them ham this
Right.
Christmas.
Our ancient smalls.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Now we're
And,
just biggies.
Small people, big buckets. You have to catch it.
if you find yourself with a loot bucket in your hand, let us know in the comments. We're interested in seeing those ancient Egyptian loot buckets.
Yep.
Dude, we
Yeah.
should do more probably history. This is
Have
great.
happy holidays. Always wear a helmet in low ceiling spaces.
Merry Christmas Eve Eve.
And Merry Christmas Eve Eve.
Yep. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Don't let your
This
dreams be
Christmas.
dreams this Christmas. Yeah.
Just do it.
After Christmas. That's
After
after
Christmas,
Christmas.
yeah. Boxing Day.
Save all your big plans for the 26th.
Boxing Day. So British of you.
Ready, Ren? Final one of the year.
Oh boy. This is the final one.
Three.
Sing the song.
Final one. Three,
Three,
two.
2, 1.